An ex-WWE star becomes SmackDown head writer. We got a WWE return update on those Jim Cornette rumors. And WWE have increased the minimum salary of all main roster wrestlers. It's time for the news. Oh, you didn't know? The Road Dogg Jesse James has been appointed co-head writer of the Blue brand. According to Mike Johnson of PW Insider, the DOGG has been named co-lead writer of SmackDown, working alongside John Swicarta moving forward. He did. You may remember this. It didn't last too long. He did previously serve as lead writer in 2018 and early 2019. And a little bit of an interesting one here, actually. AJ Styles responding to this news breaking over on Twitter, giving a bit of a hint as to why that role perhaps didn't last. He said,
before judging this guy from his past performances as the head writer, just know that there was a man who picked it apart to the point that it was no longer his ideas anymore. Emoji.
One of those. Obviously hinting that Vince McMahon may have got his hands dirty, messed with ideas enough. So if you are basing it on his previous performance, perhaps it's foolish to do so, as one phenomenal one says there. He's one of Triple H's best buddies, obviously. It's not a surprise to be reading this news this morning. And I think it's difficult to guess how well he's going to do, because apparently what we thought of his writing perhaps wasn't his writing.
Yeah, no, that's it, isn't it? I guess it just remains to be seen how it all goes ahead moving forward. Hopefully it's really good, and hopefully we do see that his ideas were actually pretty good compared to what we got last sort of that time period of SmackDown.
You can start judging him now. Couple of WWE legends, a legendary, in fact, WWE tag team, are now being considered for the Hall of Fame. They should have been in for a long time by now. A new report from Fightful Select saying that three-time former WWE Tag Team Champions Demolition have been brought up as potential Hall of Fame inductees. They are starting to trickle these names out now. Obviously, we've seen Triple H, we've seen Michelle McCool, various names rumored alongside that as well. So Axe and Smash have recently signed WWE Legends deal, which was a big surprise to hear about, just because of the legal battles that specifically Axe, Bill Eadie had with WWE. They were both involved in that concussion lawsuit that ended up going nowhere, but was very, very long, very drawn out, cost WWE lots of money, just defending it in the preliminary stages. And so they obviously deserve to be in there. There's a few names that still aren't in the Hall of Fame, which are baffling. And some of them you can sort of work out why they're not in there. And Demolition has for a long time been one of those tag teams that should have been in there. But it'll be good to see them in there, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you said the right thing sort of last week when we were talking about them getting the Legends deals in the first place, and that just Triple H seems very good at building bridges again, and this feels like the right way to go about it too, because rightly so, they're some of the longest reigning WWE Tag Team Champions, and some of the most just well known and recognized from that era as well, aren't they?
And one of the best WWE theme songs ever.
Absolutely.
Here comes the Axe. Here comes the Smasher.
Could you do it when they come out at the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I can do it if they want me. Stump up. Speaking of notable omissions from the WWE Hall of Fame, there's been lots of rumors in the last week or so regarding one Jim Cornette, and regarding a possible WWE return for Cornette. Fightful Select have reported that his name hasn't come up in creative discussions in recent years, and they do say in that report that it isn't in a we aren't bringing him in kind of way. It's just the belief within the company is that he's doing very, very well doing his podcast and all that. And Jim Cornette is a guy who has been very, very open about the fact that he hates traveling about. I can't imagine him wanting to be on the road at all. He is terrified of flying. And so I don't expect to see Jim Cornette. I'd love to see him brought in, even if it's just like a Saturday night's main event, or one of the nostalgia shows, something like that. One of the greatest managers to ever do, one of the greatest wrestling talkers, arguably the greatest in wrestling history. He should have been in the Hall of Fame an awful long time ago. And you can understand why Jim Cornette, of all people, hasn't been inducted because he's been fairly outspoken over the years. So I sort of get it. But I think we've moved on from that perception, haven't we? He's somebody who should be celebrated. He's brilliantly nuts.
Yeah, that's it. He seems like a perfect fit for so when we got Paul Heyman last year as well, there's just the guy to go out there and tell these incredible stories. That's what I love about the Hall of Fame the most, is when you get somebody like a Paul Heyman going out there and just telling amazing stories that maybe we haven't heard before, and I just love that so much about that side of it, and I feel like Jim Cornette would fit into that sort of side of it well.
There's something even nicer when that person is a little bit of a loose cannon, like Steiner, right? Oh my God. What's he gonna say? And generally they're good as gold, and I know Jim Cornette would be good as gold on that particular stage, but you never know. And it's I could listen to Jim Cornette talk up there for hours. If he wants to stick around and cut into other people's time, that's totally fine, because he's Jim Cornette, and he is like, I don't agree with everything he says. You're never going to agree with everything anybody says, but he is a joy to listen to, because he's a nutter, isn't he? In the best possible way. Unfortunate news as Asuka issuing an urgent statement on her Kana TV YouTube channel yesterday that her Twitter/X account had been hacked, saying, "Hey guys, I'm filming this urgently since yesterday my Twitter or X account has been hacked. If you see any posts from my account promoting products, services, or sharing suspicious links, there is a high chance it's a scam. Please be careful. Sorry for the trouble." She's been through it a little bit, as Asuka as of late. She's been very open about the fact that she's dealing with some sort of unwanted advances on Twitter. Some, like she said, "Do not pursue me romantically," something like that. I hate this, right? I hate reading about this happening to Asuka of all people. It's a horrible thing to happen to anybody. Apparently it's crypto, by the way, so if you see NFTs or crypto bollocks, just ignore it. It's not real. It's not Asuka doing it. But she seems like the sweetest person. Can you just piss off and leave her alone, because she's so nice.
She really is, isn't she? Yeah, it sucks. Like you said, she's been going through it. It's nice though that it says here as well that WWE and the parent company TKO are taking action to protect her in that unwanted romantic advances thing. So that's nice, at least that's happening. Oh, I hope everything works out for soon.
Absolutely. Don't buy the crypto.
No.
Support Asuka. Can't wait to see her again. We finish off with the news that WWE have increased the minimum salary of wrestlers. So a few years ago, you may remember Triple H talking about the entry-level salary for WWE main roster superstars, and that was $250,000, $250,000. And then in a recent Q&A, when asked about the financial security of WWE wrestlers, Fightful echoed that claim, but then a lot of people reached out to them saying, actually, it's now around $350,000 per year. This doesn't mean that everybody on Raw and SmackDown, of course, is paid $350,000 a year, but that is the minimum that you will earn on a main roster contract. NXT significantly lower, and it's got to be said also that this doesn't take into account other expenses like hotels, rental cars, that kind of stuff. That's not included, so it is less than $350,000 take home, and each contract is unique as well, so there may be other things factored into each contract. It's good to see that figure has gone up, because these people are, no matter when and where they're wrestling, they're risking their lives every single time they do it. Even in a 30-second squash match, anything could go wrong. You never know, and wrestling is typically it's quite a short-lived career, isn't it?
That's it. And I guess as well, not even just that, but the fact that because it's live television, things can change, can't it? Like maybe someone can't make it to the show that night, so somebody else has to get out there and be there anyway. And as it says there, they've got things to pay for, like hotels and rental cars and stuff. So it's nice when things are boosted a little bit for them to sort of cover that kind of stuff.
So they should be. When WWE are literally going on their TV shows and premium live events going, hey, we've just broke another record for the biggest gate. Look how much money we're making. We've never been worth so much. And so, if you're sensible with your money, you can set yourself up for life in wrestling, for sure. And we've seen people do that, but also we've seen people not do that and financially struggle in later life because they haven't looked after their money. But yeah, it's good to hear that they are increasing base salaries for main roster talent. Let us know your thoughts in the description below. We'll be back with some more news in just a few hours. Take care of yourselves. Have a lovely day. Bye.